Hey, it's Vega. Today I wanted to talk about 2 albums instead of doing just one review, because I didn't have enough to say about both of these albums for them to have their own separate review. So this is going to be a new thing that happens where I review like 2 or 3 albums at a time in like a bite-sized type thing. And today I wanted to start out with Dreaming of David by Ryan Beatty and Manic by Halsey. So we're going to start with Dreaming of David, which feels and sounds very much like a natural progression for Ryan from Boy in Jeans. And at times it gives me kind of Frank Ocean-esque DHL or Fine Line-esque Harry Styles vibes, which I really like. But it also maintains its own authenticity from Ryan's side. And as the title alludes, the whole thing really does sound and feel like a dream. Specifically to me, it feels like very sleepy and hazy, kind of like that place when you're half conscious but you're still dreaming. And everything feels eerily real, like it feels like it's happening, but you also are conscious of the fact that, no, I'm still asleep, I'm dreaming. And then there are those moments within that place where you're half asleep and dreaming, where you're holding on to the dream and you're trying to like push yourself deeper into sleep or really trying to not fully wake up. It's like where you teeter on the edge of trying to get yourself in that deeper place, even though at that point it's not possible because you're conscious enough that it's like too little too late. And he really does a good job of like capturing those moments, kind of, at least to me, that's what it feels like. I like the way that they produced his vocals on this album, because it really does add to the feeling and kind of elevate it and take it to a different place. I just love how it sounds. Like, I love the dreaminess, the haziness, kind of like half-drunk feeling, you know? I don't know how else to explain it, because it's also like that sleepy place, but also that like, I'm kind of drunk, but I'm not like drunk place. Right now, song-wise, I am obsessed with Casino. There is just something about it that just grabs me in. It's one of those songs where when it's done, I literally would just boop, rewind it, and then maybe boop, do it a second time, and then who knows, maybe if I'm really feeling it, boop, it gets a third replay. And I just love the way the guitar sounds and the little snaps in the background. It's all very ambient to me, and I really like that. It feels like you're there, like you're sitting in the lobby of this hotel casino with him. You're immersed in the feeling. He's touring, and I can imagine that this one is gonna be the one that just like sucks you in. Brother is also one that like really got me. Like that, whew, that one had me like, it made me sad. But like the kind of sad where I'm like, am I gonna cry? You know? Like, it makes me think of my own brother. I was like, this hits too close. I said, I need to go. Evergreen also is very pretty, and I like the way that the beat just kind of goes into chaos mode. Like, it speeds up, and it gets, like, super crazy, and it builds, and it builds, and it builds, and it builds, and then it just stops. Like, to close out the song like that is just fantastic. I love it. It just, And as a whole, the project just builds and continues to get better. It's one of those things where you start it and you're like, I like this. But then you keep going and you're like, oh, I really like this. And the last half is just heaven to me. Like, I love the first half, but the back half is really like, it just builds and builds and builds. And it's just so good. And it's hard to actually pick favorites, but the whole back half gets me. The way that he constructed the album and the way that the whole thought comes around is just really well delivered. And those last 6 songs pack a massive punch. He did really well. And I can't wait for whatever he does next. I'm really excited to see where he goes from this point. And I'm really excited to see what this looks like live. Now we are going to go on to Manic by Halsey. I really love this album. I have really liked everything that Halsey's done. I know she's like a kind of polarizing artist to people. People are really like, no, I hate her, or yes, I love her. And I am definitely on the yes, I love her side of things. I think she just does such a good job of creating a universe that is cohesive while at the same time like really sucking you in. And she proves that on this one. Like, the way she continues to step in and out of new sounds and experimenting while also completely sounding like herself is phenomenal. And it's a thing that she does exceptionally well. And she really continues to prove that she's a powerhouse in the industry, no matter how polarizing she is. And that she's only going to continue to get better and find these new pockets to keep her sound fresh and interesting and keep things new and fun. I really enjoy the overall honesty of this album. She's just so raw and so truthful. And I appreciate that from any artist, but I really appreciate it here from her. I feel like she bared her soul on this one. Like, she just grabbed her heart out of her chest and exposed so many personal parts of her life. And that's really admirable because artists do it all the time. But I feel like she really pulled things out that she either spoke on lightly before or she didn't really talk about. And it's nice to hear that. And it's also like letting people in to an extent that a lot of people don't really do. And she does such a good job of not only speaking on her past relationships, but also going into her own personal trials and tribulations. And it carries a lot of emotion. I love the way that she uses her voice as an emotional weapon, kind of. Like, she conveys a feeling so easily and so thoroughly that you know during a track, like, exactly how she feels. Okay. She went in with You Should Be Sad. She fucking demolished it. Like, she brought in that yee energy while also maintaining her typical Halsey feel, and I fucking love it. I got in the car with my brother a couple months ago when it came out as a single, and he's blasting it in the car. Like, I walk out, and I hear Halsey's voice, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, you like this song? And he's like, I fucking love this song. And I was like, what? I was like, what? Because we went through a similar thing with Without Me, where he really liked it, and he's never really been into the stuff I listen to. So, also, that was one of those moments I get in the car and I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I like her voice. Like, I like her voice. And, yeah, I love that song. It's a fucking banger. Bop and a half. That shift in Forever is a long time. What the fuck? What? Miss Ashley, I would like to talk. It's so good. And then going from that to putting Dominic Fike on this album, that, my friends, is what we call a power move. She made power moves. That interlude is beautiful. I love what they did with it. I love the way they edited his voice. I love the way it's produced. Love, love, love. It hits all the boxes for me. And then the way that it fades into I Hate Everybody. Yes. 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 We love to see it. Okay, I gotta slow myself down because I will talk about every song if I give myself the opportunity. And we're gonna be here forever if that happens. So we're skipping it. We're going into More. And that one really, like, took me. Like, I was listening to the album and that's the one that stopped me. Because it is really, like, wholly heartbreaking. I could never even begin to imagine going through any of what she did in that situation, and I feel for her a lot. And this is one of those moments where the fact that she put it into a song and shoved it into the world like that is like a really commendable to me, and it's a show of her own personal strength, because that's something people go through and they talk about it sometimes, but to release a whole song and to give it to people, to be like, yeah, this is something that happened to me, and to go from that into Still Learning, where the whole mood and the tempo changes so naturally. It shows that this album was constructed really well, and that she really took her time, like, organizing things and track listing it out. To end on 929 is, like, it's a good ending. It's really nice. It starts out all cute and giggly, and it literally just sounds like a stream of consciousness. It sounds like she's sitting in the studio and just, like, spitballing and, like, yelling about life and things and experience and things that she's gone through, especially when it builds and she just, like, gets louder and louder and starts screaming, and then she, like, goes all the way back down and is just, like, calm. Or when she goes from that, like, louder build, and then she's, like, sing-songy, she's, like, just, like, singing a tune. It feels like you're sitting there with her having a conversation, and her mind is just running faster than her mouth, and she can't catch up, and the emotions are just teetering there and switching off so quickly. Overall, it's an incredible body of work, and it's a show of her ever-growing talents. Her vocals are only getting better. The way that she expresses herself is only getting better, and I love to see that. It's really incredible, and I wish her and Ryan both a lot of luck, and I know they're both touring in the spring, summertime, and I say go buy tickets to see them. Halsey's a fucking incredible performer. I've seen her 2 or 3 times now, and she just blows me away every time. The production, the fucking dancing, all of it is so good. She knows how to put on a show. Ryan I've never seen, but his vocals are like butter live. It's like when you put the butter on a hot pan and it just melts. He has such a great voice. I love it. That is it from me. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button if you feel like it. I would love to have you here if you're not already here. Later.